So the south side from the river as you're going down Alcoa Highway, some very strong winds right there moving to the east, also back towards Bull Run. So this is just really an impressive line of storms coming through, producing this line, if you will. So anywhere from Knox County all the way down this line where you see that bright red, anywhere as this goes east, there's that potential for some winds that could be gusting 60, 70 miles per hour. I hear it on our roof right now. I'm sure they're holding on tight to the steering wheel with this line of storms that's moving through. Want to take a quick look. In fact, this is downtown Knoxville. Earlier, you could see the sun sphere. It was right here. You can't now, but it's showing just how intense this rain is that's moving through the area. Let me show you the Market Square before you switch that, Jeff. Let me check real quick. There's downtown Market Square. You can barely see just on the other side where the buildings are, back towards the restaurants, Tomato Head, Cafe 4, just on the other side. You can't see it. Look how heavy the rainfall is, how strong the winds are. 60, 70, maybe even 80 mile per hour winds on such a large scale can easily do as much damage as a tornado. So this is why we're telling you to make sure you take this seriously as this whole line of storms making it through the region. Now this is I-40 at 275. This is the downtown area. So the bottom left-hand side of your screen where some of those cars are exiting, they're taking the 275 loop and going back on the north side of town, and that's 40 eastbound on the right side coming in. So that is pretty intense, the camera that's shaking there across the area. Again, I'll take a quick look. Embassy Suites hotel camera. Probably not going to be able to see a whole lot across the region because of this heavy rain. Let me show you quickly. Look at the power outages. 7,000 Cumberland, 55 in Ray County. That's 100. 3,000 La Follette, 300 Knox. I'm sure that'll be going up with this line that's coming through. Margot Altschuler has a bit more as well with these storms that are moving through. Margot?
A few things. A tree fell at Oak Ridge National Laboratory and hit a car. This is according to National Weather Service Morristown. I also wanted to get a look again towards the Greene County area. If you're located in between Fairview and Chuckey Elementary, we're seeing some kind of stronger rotation in between those two areas. This also includes the Ofton area. You can see this kind of red dot right here. This is where we're seeing some rotation in that area, and this is where that tornado warning is until about 2:45. Again, we're going to treat like this is on the ground. You need to make sure if you are in the Fairview area, the Chuckey Elementary School area, or even after that, you are getting to your safe zone. We're seeing this storm move through. It possibly has a tornado. We got a radar update right here. So now it's between the Afton area and the Chuckey Elementary area right here. You can still see that red dot pretty prominent. That's showing some strong rotation right there. Again, we're treating it like you're on the ground. This storm heading towards the Horse Creek Elementary region. This is near the Tusculum College, Tusculum, the city right there, moving east. And again, this is that tornado warning in Greene County, moving towards Washington County until about 2:45 this evening, so in the next 15 minutes. But again, we're seeing some rotation right here in between the Chuckey Elementary and the Afton location right here in Greene County. Now again, if you are in those areas that I just pointed out, you need to be in your safe place right now, whether that be the centermost location of your home, a basement, anywhere away from windows, because even if you're not directly in between Afton and Chuckey Elementary, if there's tornado is on the ground, it is throwing debris, and that debris can come flying towards your home. You need to make sure you're not near any windows, and you have, if you have those kiddos with the T-ball helmet, make sure they have the T-ball helmet on, their football helmets, pillows, blankets. Again, we're watching this rotation very, very closely near the Greene County area. It's in between Chuckey Elementary School and Afton. I'm going to send it back over to Ken, who's taking a look at the rest of the radar. But again, this is what we will be watching very, very closely as we go into the next couple of minutes. Ken.
Power outage is still a big concern across the area. We've been seeing that really for everybody across the region with these winds coming through. Again, 60, 70, maybe even 80 mile per hour wind gusts that are coming through. And it's really going to be right through the downtown Knoxville area now and south, kind of right where you see that Boeing segment. It kind of looks like a backwards letter C. We get strong winds that come in behind it and just press forward. So anybody out ahead of this line, so over towards Blount County, through Sevier County, all the way down through Monroe County, you're next. So heads up Gatlinburg, Sevierville, Pigeon Forge. This line is heading your way. Could easily be seeing some severe wind damage, maybe 60, 70, 80 mile per hour winds. Again, even though it's not a tornado warning, you need to treat this seriously because 60, 70, 80 mile per hour winds can easily cause damage with trees, power lines. We already had that one report, as Margot mentioned there, at Oak Ridge National Laboratory. A tree fell and hit a car there earlier. So damage reports across the region. There may be some people that are trying to get out and leave some businesses. Matt?
Tornado warning canceled for Greene in Washington County.
Okay, so they did cancel the tornado warning for Greene in Washington. That's good news. Again, that's moving out of our area. Still, though, as you go over into Washington County, there's going to be severe thunderstorm winds, 60, 70 miles per hour, but they're not seeing the rotation that they were earlier. And really, I think this is going to turn more in the next hour or so into a damaging wind threat. I still think there could be an isolated spin up or a tornado. That certainly seems possible in spots, but overall damaging winds will be our bigger impact, and some isolated flooding. Area shaded in that flashing green, so that's going to be the majority of Jefferson, southern sections of Granger County, and also about the southern half of Hamblin County. That's a flash flood warning. That means flooding is occurring across the area as we speak, and we're having reports of it. Warnings have been dropped areas west, so we're no more active severe thunderstorm warnings for Morgan, Cumberland, Roane, Loudon. You're doing much better right now. Yes, you still may have some thunderstorms across the area, but I don't think the severe threat is quite what it was. Now we want to send it over to Bo. Bo, you've been accumulating a lot of these power outages across the area and a lot of other updates as well.
Listen to this for a second, Ken. Last time we chatted about 30 minutes ago, KUB was reporting anywhere from 730 to 779 outages. That number has now jumped to 19,365. We're talking in the span of 20 to 30 minutes. It has gone from just over 700 outages to now over 19,000 outages. And that is just KUB reporting at this time. As a matter of fact, we're looking all around the area. As far as regionally is concerned, Roane County over 1,000 outages. Fentress County reporting over 7,300 outages. Matter of fact, Clark Range Fire Department telling us the power lines down, trees as well. One on top of a car near Martha Washington Road. So again, be careful if you're going to be in some of those areas. But if you still have power, feel fortunate at this moment. I want to give you some live looks right now. This is through the TDOT SmartWay in Sheets. This is right now I-40, not too far from the Holston River Bridge. Traffic, look at the water being kicked up behind these vehicles with their driving through there, heading away from you. That gives you a good perspective of how much water is on the roads right now. That was from East Knox County, again, not far from the Holston River Bridge, near that 640 interchange, and that's one of those areas that Ken's been watching for you. So again, keep all of that in mind. Also, TDOT reporting not long ago, trees down along sections of I-40 eastbound in Roane County. This is near mile marker 349, so you're going to see some delays there. So you have an interstate travel being impacted by some of this. But again, we're continuing to watch the numbers for you right now. TDOT also says, as do we, if you don't have to be out on the roadways right now, just stay put, wait for all of this to push through. Let's check in right now with meteorologist Margot Altshuler. Margot?
Bo, I just wanted to kind of show the storm wind tracker again towards downtown Knoxville, moving through the Knox County area. We're seeing winds kind of close to 56 miles an hour in between the Alice Bell Elementary, Carter Elementary, and Rush Strong School. Again, that is very, very damaging. We could see, debris flown. We can see damages to houses, even buildings. And again, like I mentioned before, in Oak Ridge, at Oak Ridge National Laboratories, there was a tree on top of a car. We're also seeing 39, close to 40 mile an hour winds close to the Johnson University and the Crossville a location, and also it looks like we just got a severe thunderstorm warning until 3:30 for Anderson County near the Norris location. Just saw that pop up over there. Still seeing lots of storm coverage near that area as well, but still seeing very gusty winds kind of in the downtown Knoxville area, in the Knox County area. So again, make sure you're staying weather aware, and again, make sure you know you need to get to the centermost location of your home, your safe place, as we move forward into the next couple of hours. Still seeing very strong storms passing through much of the region. I'm going to toss it back to Bo, take a look at outages and such like that. Bo?
Yeah, all right, Margot. I also want to show what's happening out on the roadways. We just picked up on this. TDOT just arriving on scene. This is a live look for you right now. The TDOT SmartWay cameras. This is I-40 out near mile marker 389. 79. So this is east of the downtown area. TDOT helping out that motorist that looks like, well, they're facing the wrong way right now. They're off the side of the roadway right now. You can see as the cars are going by how much standing water there is on the interstate in this part of town that's being impacted right now as that heavy rain hits that area. But again, that pickup looks like it maybe have spun, went off the side of the road right now, facing the wrong way. TDOT just showing up to assist that motorist. Did a quick reboot on the KUB. Remember last time we talked, which was literally 5 minutes ago, if that, there were over 19,000 outages, over 38,000 outages now. And that's just within about a 5-minute, if that, span. So again, be careful. Again, if you can, charge those batteries if you still have power right now. But again, 38,757. That's what KUB is reporting right now. Let's go over to Ken Weathers right now over in the Storm Center. Ken, still hard to make out what's going on behind you there. Well, actually, I saw you had a picture up there, but now you've changed it, but quite a bit of activity going on behind you.
I'll show you again. There's not much to show, but that's the point. We're kind of looking northeast now from downtown Knoxville. You can sort of see the horizon, but boy, there's still very heavy rainfall. Looks like it may be letting up a little bit here at our studios. You can actually hear people talking now, which is nice. But yeah, it's just moved over the downtown Knoxville area. But anywhere along this line, still could be 60, 70, maybe 80 mile per hour winds as this moves east. Would not be surprised if we get another warning for the rest of Sevier County shortly as this continues to move east. But the active warnings we still have, the area shaded in yellow, the Knox County one goes until 3 o'clock. This is a flash flood warning as repeated amounts of rain have moved over the same areas, and there's more to come. So aggravating that situation, portions of Jefferson, Granger, Hamlin, and even western sections of Cott County could still be seeing some flooding over the next several hours. Now this line we've been watching, damaging winds, looks like it's near Carter Community at 240. The middle and high school, same time frame there in Midway at about 242 as that races towards the east at about almost 60 miles per hour. So it won't be long, this line of storms moving through. Quickly wanted to check and see if they've done anything with the watches back towards the west. Now, there's the power outages across the area we talked about. Still looks like they have the tornado watch still in effect till 7 o'clock for Cumberland County. That'll be 6 o'clock Central Time. These are all the active severe thunderstorm warnings. These are mainly going to go through the 3 o'clock hour or just before it. This is 2:45 for portions of Blount County. But all these areas, especially from Knoxville eastward, still have that potential for seeing some damaging wind gusts coming through. I would say areas a little bit back towards the west. I think they're just now getting a new warning. Is this the new one coming out for severe? It is till 3:45. And again, they're saying that potential is there for maybe even some 80 mile per hour wind gust with this coming through, kind of like what we've said. Bo's got another update for us as well. Bo, what do you got?
Yeah, right now Knoxville Fire tweeting out just a few moments ago, Ken, that they are getting reports of power lines down all across the city. Again, please do not approach power lines. If you see them down, don't get anywhere near them. But again, they are reporting right now a number of lines down across the city. Had some reports of trees down near Chapman Highway. Also, real quick, I want to mention looking at the city of Alcoa right now, reporting just over 2,800 customers right now without power there in the Alcoa area. Let's send it over to Margot now for more on what's happening outside.
Thanks, Bo. Just kind of looking outside again, looking across the entire region right now, still seeing the stronger storms making their way east. They've left most of Knox County right now, kind of heading towards the Dandridge area, the Gatlinburg area. But I was looking at the National Weather Service Nashville, and they were talking here in the next couple of minutes, close to an hour, they're actually going to disband the tornado watch for our plateau counties. So that is good. So if you're in Fentress and Cumberland County, it looks like you're in the clear as we head towards this afternoon. Now, once this line does make its way through the rest of East Tennessee, we most likely will see that happen as well. But still, we're dealing with these severe thunderstorms moving through. And again, just because that tornado watch is no longer in place doesn't mean necessarily that you won't have debris still coming from severe thunderstorms. Now, again, a look towards the kind of Dandridge area, heading towards the severe area, kind of the Gatlinburg area, still seeing strong storms making their way towards those two areas that I just mentioned. Heavy rain, gusty winds up to 60 miles an hour, and possible some hail. I think there was some hail in the Sweetwater area, so that's kind of where Tellico Plains is now, heading towards Madisonville, eventually heading towards Robbinsville. But we still are watching everything very, very closely, seeing these storms making their way through. Looks like we have another severe thunderstorm warning towards the La Follette area. I'm going to toss it to Bo, though, to get a quick update on what's going on specifically outside.
Yeah, all right, Margot, thank you. I've been watching the power outages for you right now, and the latest numbers, literally a few minutes ago, we told you over 30,000 with KUB. Now we're pushing 50,000 customers without power, 49,299. That is the latest figure we're getting right now from KUB. So we'll have to continue to monitor that for you. Again, just crews are out. They're going to try to get this fixed and get power back on as soon as these storms move through, but it may take a little bit of time. And of course, if you are out, also don't forget about obviously those intersections and the traffic lights as well. You just got to be patient out there on the roads. Let's send it back over to Ken right now, who's continuing to monitor things for us.
Yeah, the McGee-Tyson Airport just a few minutes ago, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts there. So this is what we're talking about, that whole line of storms that made its way through downtown Knoxville, all the way down through portions of Blount County. They continue to move east. That's why these warnings are continuing to get issued for Monroe County all the way up into Blount County, and these are going to go till 3:15. Damaging winds, certainly a possibility. I think they're just about to cancel, as Margot mentioned, the tornado watch for our plateau counties. We'll let you know as soon as that happens, which is good to see. But still, active severe weather threat for our areas, especially east of Knoxville. Wanted to show you kind of a quick look at our camera. This is going to be from Sevier County. This is Gatlinburg Sky Park. We're kind of looking back towards that west direction. You can see rainfall just starting to move in, but that line of storms is only going to get stronger as it makes its way into portions of Sevier County as this whole line starts to move east. I want to show you this quickly on the computer here on Storm Tracker 6. We're basically just looking at where we could be seeing rotation. Now, yes, there will be damaging wind threat all along this line, but there is also that opportunity that within or along that line, you could see a quick spin up type tornado. So regardless, whether it's 60, 70, even 80-mile-per-hour winds or an isolated tornado, the damage is still going to be possibly significant with some of these storms as they move through. And right now, between Northview Elementary, Catlettsburg Elementary, and Sevierville, that's where that strongest wind is going to be making its way. So it's almost running parallel to 411 as we speak, moving off to the east towards the southern edge of the lake there, southwest of Dandridge. So that's why our active warning is still in place. That's Sevier County till 3:45. Also Jefferson County 3:45 as well. Those are all scrolling at the bottom of your screen, but it's right through here where the damaging wind threat is certainly going to be one of the higher ones right along that line. And that's the line that came through downtown Knoxville not too long ago. We still have some heavy rain in our area, but I'd say for the most part, our severe threat just about done in Knox County, and they probably will cancel this warning here in the next 15 minutes as we get towards 3 o'clock. But it's this line that I showed you that I'd watch making its way towards Wilderness at Smokies about 250, Northview Middle at 250, the golf course there in Sevierville and Soaky Mountain Water Park also at about 250, and the convention center as that's moving east. Expect that possibility of damaging winds like we've seen, 60, 70, 80-mile-per-hour winds, certainly a possibility, and know that there's a pretty good bet you're going to have some power outages in some spots. Please just make sure you're into the middle part of your home, interior room, lowest level of your home. Stay away from windows as well, because if you have any trees or power lines that come down, of course, those can be very dangerous as well. Going to send it back to Bo for just a minute. He's got another update for us. Bo, we continue to see power outages climb across the area.
Yeah, really, as we mentioned just a moment ago, Ken, KUB now showing almost 50,000 outages. And as the storm continues to move east, as Ken's showing us there, as he's kind of tracking everything for us, I want to show you some TDOT SmartWay cameras. Live look for you right now. This is I-40 east and westbound out near mile marker 406. So kind of the Kodak area right before you get to 407. But again, you can see some of those trucks with their hazards or their flashers on right now, just kind of warning everybody to slow down. A lot of standing water. Here's another look for you. This is at mile marker 407. So this is right there at Smoky Stadium, Buc-ee's, give you some landmarks. But again, tough to even make out all the traffic that's out there and what's around that area, because obviously the camera bouncing around, but just heavy rain right now falling in that area. So be careful. Then out near the 4081 interchange, look at this in Sheets. kind of blowing from side to side, not even down. It's kind of going across your screen, really coming down right now there. So please be careful if you do have to be out. If you don't have to, give yourself a little extra time. As Margot and Ken have been showing us, this is starting to move through the area. Some areas are going to see some relief now. Others, you're still going to have to hang on for a little bit longer. Let's send it over to Margot, though, right now for where we stand.
Yeah, Bo, right now looking kind of really close towards the Blount County and Sevier County areas. This is Sevier County specifically. We're seeing that strong line of storms that passed just over Knox County a little while ago that caused a lot of thunder, a lot of lightning, and heavy rain now moving towards the Sevierville area, Union Hall. We also have the new area and Dollywood Splash Country. We'll continue to see this line of heavy storms and gusty winds continue to make its way in and through Sevier County, move east towards the Cedar Bluff area in Sevier County, and we also will continue to see it move kind of towards the Bird, Crossroad, and Sandy Ridge area. Now again, these storms do have the potential of having very damaging winds associated with them, from winds ranging from 60, even 80 miles an hour. We've seen a lot of damage. Already have some significant damage here in Knox County. Getting some pictures from the National Weather Service already in the Knox County Fire Department. Now again, we are still watching everything as it progresses throughout our area, watching the winds, making sure everything stays okay. But again, you need to make sure, if I just named, Sevierville, if you're near Dollywood Splash Country, the Union Hill area, you're getting to your safe zone. That's the centermost location of your home, either a basement or a closet or underneath the stairs, away from windows, because this is kicking up some significant debris with it moving forward. Now we will continue to watch for these severe thunderstorm warnings moving through, and we also will watch for the potential for that spin up tornado possible with these storms moving through. Again, right now we don't have a tornado warning in place, but that watch is still in place for the majority of East Tennessee except for Fentress and Cumberland counties until 7 p.m. tonight. Now, I don't see that lasting long once this line makes its way through, but we're going to continue to monitor everything moving forward. Again, seeing some very heavy rain near the Union Hill area, Sevierville area, Dollywood Splash Country, and Pigeon Forge area. I know that's a very popular place to be for summer vacation. Again, seeing that rain moving through, actually watching as Ken messes with the Gatlinburg Sky Park camera as we're watching this storm make its way towards the Gatlinburg area. I'm going to send it back over to Ken so we can take a look at that. Ken?
Yeah, we're going to keep an eye on this camera for sure. This is, again, as she mentioned, the Gatlinburg Sky Park. You see that wall of rain that'll be coming through. I'm sure visibilities will be dropping pretty quickly here. Starting to get a little bit of spotty coverage here with the shot, probably with some as much as the wind is bouncing around, so it could be some power and or internet issues, but trees have definitely been bouncing around there as well along that line of thunderstorm that's kind of making its way right now into Sevier County, and that's where they're right now in downtown Sevierville. So it won't be long before it's through Pigeon Forge and the Gatlinburg area, but Dandridge seeing some very heavy rainfall right now, and this heavy rain we're seeing between Jefferson City and Dandridge right there at the 40-81 split, still just aggravating the flooding situation as well that we have. The flash flood warning continues in this area, and I do believe this goes until like 6 o'clock this evening, the flash flood warning that we have, but there's still a severe thunderstorm warning till 3:45 for that same areas, because we're talking about a damaging wind threat moving into the region right now, even before we talk about the heavy rain that's on top of that. The tornado threat that we had earlier for Greene into portions of Washington County, that has been dropped, but still a severe thunderstorm warning in that area. But I think the biggest concern is still right along this line, right here from Dandridge, Sevierville to Gatlinburg. It's that line that's about to move through. Gusty winds will be a concern, like we've seen, 60 to maybe even 80 mile per hour winds that could cause some damage across many areas as this moves through over the next, say, 30 to 45 minutes. In fact, if we take a look about how long this would last, by the time we get to 3:50 or 4 o'clock, we're already close to the Asheville area, this line of storms moving through. So in an hour, it's all the way over into western North Carolina. Not going to last much longer across the area, thankfully, but we still have at least another hour, I'd say, before this threat is over for our area. Margot?
Ken, just got word from the National Weather Service in Morristown off of Bob Kirby Road in Knox County, seeing significant damage. A roof was blown off of a home. Again, that's what we were talking talking about with this storm moving through, those gusty winds able to cause damage to a home. So again, off of Bob Kirby Road in Knox County, seeing roof damage, a roof blown off of a house. Now, I just wanted to show our severe threat level for the day today. I know it's not the radar, but I'm just kind of showing where this red was, that 4 out of 5. That's actually where we've seen our 2 tornado warned storms. The rest of us under that 3 out of 5, this orange, that's where we've seen our significant severe thunderstorms move through. So definitely this map has been holding up throughout the day today. But again, on Bob Kirby Road in Knox County, saw a roof blown off a home. That's according to the National Weather Service. Morristown just got word of that. But again, we're still watching this line of storms move through. Again, seeing severe thunderstorm warnings in our area, causing significant damage. Wind gusts up to 60, maybe even 80 miles an hour. So you need to make sure you're getting to the centermost location of your home, especially if you're in the severe County area, the Gatlinburg area, even the Dandridge area. We're going to continue to see this storm system move east, and it brings a lot of rain. Even some pea-sized hail has been reported. But again, we're going to watch everything. I'm going to throw it over to Ken. I think it looks like he's about to get close to that Bob Kirby Road just to show how gusty those winds were to cause that damage.
It would have been about 218, Margot. So earlier when I was talking about that storm that had the possible rotation with it, at minimum had winds maybe 70 or 80 miles per hour. So it would have been put it pretty close to that Bob Kirby Road area there, West Knoxville. That's going to be north of 40, and that's east of Pellissippi Parkway. So it's pretty close to what we're talking about here within this field of view. So maybe right through here would be that region that we're talking about. Let me show you what's going on right now across the area. The biggest concern is we've been talking about the damaging wind threat that's making its way into the Gatlinburg area as we speak. That line of thunderstorms from Sevierville to Gatlinburg easily could still be in that 60 to 70 mile per hour range. Want to take a look. Here's the camera now. This is Gatlinburg. Sky Park, you can't even see across the ridge because of the heavy rainfall. And again, kind of spotty coverage here, most likely with the strong winds and maybe some internet issues as well. So keeps jumping back and forth. I think that's an old image actually across the area, but wanted to show you still just Anakista view. You can barely see across the ridge there with all the heavy rain that we have making its way through the area. And I'll take a quick look at Ripley's Aquarium of the Smokies. People kind of scurrying, getting into cover, which is a good thing with all the heavy rainfall and that severe potential. So hopefully these people are moving inside and getting to a safe spot before these really strong winds that you can start to see are moving through into Sevier County. Look at all the people, again, thankfully getting into some safety, some safe shelter until this wind moves through. We're going to go check back with Bo, who's got an update more on what's going on across the area, Bo. Busy afternoon. It
really has been, Ken, and especially going to be for those electric companies. You were just talking about Sevier County, Sevierville, Gatlinburg, those areas. We checked with Sevier County Electric. They're now starting to show some numbers jump as you take a look at your screen there. Some areas 506, 385, 121, depending on where you are as this system now moves into that Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, Sevierville area. So we'll have to continue to watch Sevier County to see if these numbers continue to climb, but already seeing a pretty significant number of people now already impacted, losing power right now, so we'll have to continue to watch that. KUB, the numbers continue to climb as well. If you recall, probably an hour ago, it was just over 700. Now we're just under 55,000 without power right now. I want to give you a look there. That's the latest on the KUB map. Again, just under 55,000 currently right now without power. Also want to throw in there real quick, we're seeing more delays out at McGee-Tyson, whether they're expecting flights coming in or those departing. Of course, they're going to impact one another. So if you do have a flight out, make sure to call ahead, make sure everything is still on time for you if you have a delay that you'll be dealing with there as far as the airport. All right, we want to continue to get you up to date on what's happening outside right now. Of course, our storm team has been monitoring conditions for us across the area. I know Margot Altschuler has been watching it. Margot, what do you have for us?
So, Bo, I just want to give a quick update with that storm heading towards the Dandridge area. The National Weather Service has indicated some significant damage here in Knox County. So this is the storm that's in the Dandridge, Sandy Ridge area. We've seen on Level Road a damage report, a tree down in the road blocking traffic. Also large signage in road reported by spotters via phone. And then also in Knox County around 2:35 near Central Point Boulevard, structure structural damage. Parts of roof are off a building, large trees broken, diameter 2 to 3 inches, and lots of vehicle damage. We also see in Knox County a tree down near Sequoia Hills, I believe that's what it says. This is contributing towards power outages from Cross Street from Old Private School to Lions View. Also on Old Broadway at Dutch Valley Road near Louis Restaurant, 2.5 feet of water has been reported. So again, this is that storm that is heading towards the Dandridge area. You can see the reds right here, kind of near the Sandy Ridge area, the Dandridge area, even the Bird Crossroad area. This is that storm that caused that significant damage here in Knox County. So you need to make sure you're staying up to date. If you are in the Dandridge area, make sure you're getting towards your safe space, centermost location of your home, whether that be a basement or a closet. We're seeing winds up to 60, maybe even 80 miles an hour with these storms moving through. Definitely saw that 80-mile-an-hour report in Middle Tennessee, but it is still possible to happen here in East Tennessee. Again, watching this system move east, again, through the Sandy Ridge. We have the Bainbury, the Bybee area, and even the Newport area. But right now it's affecting Dandridge, the city of Dandridge, and Jefferson City, along with the Cedar Bluff City in Sevier County. This storm has already caused significant damage here in Knox County, already caused some damages out in Middle Tennessee, so it will continue to do so. Definitely taking advantage of the fuel that has been kind of sitting there all day. We've seen a lot of sun in the Sevier and Blount County areas. This has helped contributing towards these stronger systems. I'm going to toss it to Bo so we can take a look outside and know some outages. Bo?
Yeah, outages as well as just some of the damage that we're seeing right now. We're getting some pictures in as the storms now continue to move through the area. Some areas starting to calm down a little bit. And this is a look for you right now. This is a photo right there. You know where the Home Depot is? This is the Home Depot area just off of Kingston Pike. And again, you can see tree down there. We had one report of a vehicle underneath one of those trees. Here's another one. This kind of blocking that entrance as you're coming into that area near the, there's a Captain D's there, right there near the Home Depot. I think there's an auto zone as well. But again, you can see, is that the vehicle underneath? We're kind of zooming in. Yeah, you can see the tail lights and part of the license plate there. So again, a tree on top of a vehicle. Hopefully everybody's okay. We'll have to continue to get you up to date, but you can see those storms coming through, and as Ken and as Margot been mentioning, packing quite a punch as far as some of those wind speeds. So you're going to see a lot of this as we go through the afternoon, especially as things start to calm down and everyone's able to get outside and kind of survey their neighborhoods. Listen to back over to Ken. Ken, I know you've been watching Sevier County right now where the rain's starting to come down.
Yeah, one other update, got another damage report as well. Kingston Pike, West Knox County, just the same area Bo was talking about, in that same cell that we were tracking earlier this afternoon that looked like it could have had a possible tornado with it, but the Service King Auto Repair had a roof blown off and it's laying on a house next door to it. So again, that's Service King Auto Repair, West Knox County off Kingston Pike. Woodlawn Pike near Chapman, looks like a tree is blocking the road fully there. So Chapman Highway, Woodlawn Pike. So again, tree down across much of the area, excuse me, causing some concern. You can see the heavy rainfall. This is making its way through Gatlinburg right now. People, again, hopefully wish they'd move inside here, but at least they're under an awning here. But this is Ripley's Aquarium of the Smokies. You can see the downtown area, still some traffic moving through, but it's that line of storms, the very heavy rainfall, gusty winds that's still making its way through Sevier County as we speak. Looks like Dandridge, at least downtown, areas further to the east. That's where those strong winds are. Sevierville, just some heavy rain through Knoxville as well, but much quieter back across the plateau. I think it won't be long. Officially, these warnings go until 3:45. They will probably expire before that as these are racing off to the east, but it won't be long before that's near the I-40 corridor into Cotton County, this whole line as it's moving to the east. And again, they've been moving east at almost 40, 50 miles per hour right now. So on that track, this line is pretty close to the Cosby community at 304, the elementary and high school at about 305, and English Creek at 306. That would be that whole line that's moving through that could easily still produce some 60-plus mile per hour wind gusts and cause some trees and power outages across the area. And I think these numbers will continue to go up, these power outages we've seen through portions of Sevier into Cotton County. Excuse me, heavy rain still back into Greene County, back into Jefferson County as well. Wouldn't be surprised if this warning gets dropped here pretty quickly into Union County. You're looking a lot better. Still though, Claiborne all the way down into Granger Western Granger, still that active warning for another 30 minutes. That may go a little quicker, though, as the threat's looking a little less now. Haven't had an update yet from the Storms Prediction Center about the update on the watch. Looks like it's still in place at this time, goes till 6 Central for our Plateau counties and 7 Eastern, but looks like Knox County's been cleared from the active warnings now, but still, as I mentioned, Union, western sections of Granger, worst of this starting to make its way into the foothills and into the Smokies, and right towards the 40-81 split as that continues to push to the east. But would not be surprised if some of these watches get canceled here in the short term as we go through. Margot, do you have an update as well for this?
Just wanted to kind of take a look again at the severe threat we were expecting for the day today. We did have that 4 out of 5 risk for the northeastern portion of our area. The rest of us under that 3 out of 5, this orange right here. And again, we saw our tornado warnings in this red area right here. So good job to the Storm Prediction Center for putting this out for a severe threat for the day today. Still seeing those storms moving through the area. This is a look at our storm tracker. Over the past couple of hours, we've seen this kind of move from Knox County all the way into Blount and Sevier County, carrying with it severe thunderstorm warnings. So make sure, again, you're staying up to date on the weather moving through. We're starting to see things calming down kind of towards the Knox County, the West Knox County area, and behind it in our Plateau counties. Again, I just want to show the safe places that you need to go to whenever we do say, hey, there's a warning in your area. Hopefully, if you have a basement, go ahead and go to that basement, especially if there's no windows in that area, because windows can have debris fly through them. If you don't have a basement, the centermost location of your home, whether it be a bathroom or a closet, is good as well. I'm going to toss to Bo real fast. I just wanted to give a quick update to what we mean when we say go to your safe location. Bo?
Yeah, definitely. Safety first, that is for sure. And if you're heading out here now, maybe the storms have passed through your area. Be careful as well for debris in the roads or around your home. Let me show you some pictures right now that we're getting in. This is from Mark Wilbanks with Knoxville Fire. This is along the 1000 block of Petticoat Road, and you can see there trees down. Looks like maybe some power lines as well. But again, you can see some of the damage. Pretty good sized tree down there. Again, that's Petticoat. This is from Knoxville Fire right now, so I have to continue to monitor that. But this is how a number of neighborhoods are going to look right now. So maybe it's okay near your house. Just know when you head out. This is Montana Avenue in Oak Ridge. Now, this is from the Oak Ridge Facebook page. Officers putting some of these pictures up. You can see the damage there. Crews working those scenes right now. Utility companies out there. The trees snapped. Power lines impacted, as well as we're seeing widespread power outages. This is East Drive in the Oak Ridge area. So again, be careful there. Again, some of the damage, and just it could be on the shoulder of the roadway, right out in the middle of the road. Just know maybe the way you usually take may not be there. Now, Loudoun County also sending out some information just a short time ago, just letting everybody know that multiple roads are blocked throughout the county. Deputies reporting multiple traffic hazards across Loudoun County right now, so do use extra caution if you can. If you're in Loudoun County, a lot of these areas getting a chance a little bit quieter than it was maybe about 30 minutes ago, but just know that when you head out, there's still a lot of cleanup that needs to be done. We've been watching those power outages. Keep that in mind. Outages continue to come in. KUB over 55,000. Sevier County now, as Ken's been showing us, starting to see those storms move in, getting their fair share of outages as well, as is much more widespread. So we'll have to continue to monitor that. All right, let's go to Ken Weathers right now over in the Storm Center. Hey, Ken.
Hey, Bo, a little bit quieter in this shot right now. Gatlinburg Sky Park. Not as heavy of rain as it was earlier. Winds not as gusty, but still some reduced visibility as that line continues to make its way east across the region. Wanted to show you again, heaviest rainfall has now made its way out of West Knox County, a little quieter back into Morgan Roan. And on our Plateau County, still no update on the watch that's in place across that area. But heavy rainfall, still some active warnings, as you can see, through portions of Cott County. That goes until 3:45. And then also to the south, this is into Sevier County until 3:15. Yeah, a friend of mine, Ken Oaks, just sent this in from Oaks Farm. That's his son Joshua right there. And you can see that heavy rainfall and strong winds that just toppled this tree. He said what was interesting was winds were coming in from the west, but this tree actually tipped over back towards the east. So we'll see. It doesn't look like tornado damage at this point. It looks like more of a straight line wind damage, but just indicative of how some of these strong winds were across the area, like extremely gusty winds across the area that we had come through earlier today. And we had that damage report back into West Knox County between the Carnes, Hardin Valley area, Bob Kirby Road of some roof damage. That looked pretty interesting. We were watching that on the air live as I was talking about. Could have been some rotation with that possible tornado. We'll see if the Weather Service sends out an assessment team to any of these areas by tomorrow. But just indicative of why we were on the air, why we were telling you about these warnings. And yes, even if it was just a severe thunderstorm warning, it had the potential to produce some tornadoes. And regardless, 60, 70, 80 mile per hour winds within a thunderstorm, as you can see, have done a lot of damage across the area. A little bit quieter, back areas to the west. Got a feeling they'll drop this warning here pretty soon that goes until 3:30. That's the Granger, Union County. You're looking much better. But active warnings right now, right up against the foothills into the Smokies for severe. That goes until 3:45 and 3:15 accordingly. Got a feeling that those will be dropped pretty quickly as, again, strongest winds continue to shift to the east. Still some gusty winds into Cott County. This warning's till 3:45. That goes into Greene County as well. Damaging wind gusts, probably our biggest concerns with these. Lanceville at 3:14, Limestone Springs at 3:17, and White Sand around 3:21. Allen Stand at 3:24. Jeff, tell me what we want to be doing here going on next. Going to go back to Bo. He's got an update for us as well. Bo?
Yeah, Ken, take a look at this for a moment. Again, just a reminder that when you head out, just because it may be quiet where you are, it's still going to be a little bit of an adventure for you trying to get around. Crews right now, the TDOT crews on scene. This is a live look for you through the TDOT SmartWay camera. I-40 just west of 275, looking down from that Western Avenue overpass. Pretty good sized tree has fallen, blocking at least that right-hand lane. So as you're coming, say, off of 275 south, merging on to I-40 west, watch out in this area. You got a lot of people trying to change lanes because you've got Alcoa Highway, you've got Sunderland, you've got obviously I-40 traffic trying to get through there. So right now that right-hand lane looks like it is currently blocked. You're going to see some delays, that is for sure. Again, westbound 40 near the downtown area. Here's another look at it. Crews again working that scene. That tree. This is back at 4275, so expect some delays right now, even though the rain has let up significantly since the last time we checked downtown. You're still going to see those problems, and this is part of it right now. If you know it's like that on the interstate, just know a number of neighborhoods are going to see their fair share. As we showed you a moment ago from Knoxville Fire, they're reporting trees and power lines down all across the area. We showed you some pictures earlier from Petticoat and some other spots around Knoxville where those trees are still causing some issues. Even out west, we're seeing a significant amount of damage to some areas, to rooftops as well as to trees. So again, we're continuing to monitor that for you and keep you up to date. Also watching those power outages for you around the area. Let's see, right now it's like KUB still looking at, let's see the numbers. The latest for you right now is just over 56,000. So 56,289. That is where KUB stands right now. If you remember about an hour ago, if you were with us, that map was quiet, maybe just a few dots showing where a few outages were. At one point we're like at 700. Now we're over 56,000 outages. So crews are going to be working well into the evening hours to get all of that back up and running for you. So if you are without power, maybe you're watching, so you charged your phone, listening to us, just know crews are out there working. Same can be said in Sevier County right now as well. Let's send it back over to Ken.
Yeah, Bo, and it's not just us as well. I mean, look how active the maps are. Ours haven't even caught up yet. You mentioned 56,000 in Knox. That's showing 48. Still incredible amounts. 7,000 Cumberland, 1,000 in Roane, 800 in Monroe, 5,000 there into Jefferson County as well, 2,500 up into Greene. So these numbers most likely will be fluctuating as we go over the next several hours, as we get some coming on, some back off across the area. So be safe out there, especially with the down trees and power lines across the area. Make sure you're not driving through any areas that have any downed power lines or trees. Still, the watches are in place across Cumberland, Fentress County on the plateau. We'll see how much longer that lasts. Otherwise, our warnings are dwindling quickly across the foothills into the Smokies, but we still have some active warnings over into Jefferson County, northern severe. That goes until 3:45 into Cott County as well. And we're here at the 3:15, 3:20. We're about 3:10. Time frame right now. So still another, say 30 minutes or so, and then I think majority of this should be over with, Margot.
Ken, we're still watching those stronger storms kind of making their way through Greene and Jefferson County, moving on into Cott County as well. If you're located near Cedar Creek in Greene County, seeing some heavy rain in that area right now. Same with Rice Mill and Hot Springs. A lot of this already going towards the North Carolina-Tennessee border, but we're seeing a lot of damage coming from these storms here in Knox County. So it's taking a while for us to hear about all this damage, but these storms have been causing significant damage in places that it's already been through, and we're already seeing kind of moving through the Greene and Cott areas that have been able to kind of have that warmth and that sun. So we probably will be seeing some significant damage coming from these storms as well. Still have this severe thunderstorm warning in Cott and Greene County until about 3:45. So we have about 35 minutes left of this severe thunderstorm warning for our two counties that are still left. Still seeing again some heavy rainfall, gusty winds associated with these storms moving through. Again, go ahead and get in your safe place, especially if you're in the Cedar Creek area. Let's kind of take a look at the timing for some of these storms. If it does pop up, not really seeing much in between the Oak Hill and the Liberty area, but again, still seeing some very heavy rain, also moving towards the Greenville area and the Bird Hill area. Again, we are still going to continue to be on until this warning does expire, because this strong storm has moved through Knox County, causing significant damage, even causing damage kind of in the Dandridge area and even closer to the plateau. We've seen a lot of it over the past couple of hours, so we're going to keep an eye on everything moving forward. Again, this storm is traveling at about 45 miles an hour north and east, so we'll continue to monitor everything. But again, make sure you are paying attention, especially if you're in the Greene and Cott County areas here in East Tennessee, because that's where all these significant storms are. Again, we will continue to monitor everything. Lots of heavy rain. I'm going to toss it to Bo real fast just to get a look on updates on outages and damages. Bo?
Yeah, we're getting some more video in Margot of some of the area that's seeing some damage, and you may see something like this in your neighborhood. This is some video sent in to us. This is Killarney Road in Knoxville, and you can see along, looks like this driveway, a number of those branches down, pretty good size too. Trees down across the roadways as well. So again, just be careful. A lot of areas going to see something like this. It'll be whether it's your neighborhood, a side road, a back road, on top of the home there. They're going to have to get some of those branches down, but boy, the storms pushed through with quite the punch, as Ken and Margot have been telling us. So just be careful when you're heading out trying to survey some of the areas. Your neighborhood may look something like that. Also, City of Oak Ridge saying crews right now working to restore power near Montana Avenue and West Outer Drive. They say they appreciate your patience, but crews are out there working now to try to get the power restored. So if you know somebody, or maybe you're listening to us through your phone right now, watching on the WATE.com near Montana Avenue, West Outer Drive. Just know crews are out there working. Also, Alcoa reporting just under 3,000 outages and still looking at right around 56,000 for KUB. So still a lot of work needs to be done, as Ken, some of these areas finally starting to catch a little bit of a break. Crews can get out and start surveying and start cleaning up a little bit.
Yeah, Bo, the other issue we had that we talked about earlier, and that's that heavy rainfall across the area. The storms moving over those same areas. Flash flood warnings in place for the areas in the flashing green across the region. And that's going to include Jefferson County. That's until 3:45 or 4:15 rather. And now the circled area I have here, those are rainfall estimates between 2 and 4 inches. And that's just been from today. That's why the flash flood warnings are in place. So Bainbury, High Point, Parrottsville there into Cott County, and right there at the 40-81 split. So north of Dandridge, north side of the lake, that's where some of that really pavement pounding rain has caused some issues with some flooding across the area. Quickly, let's take a look what's left of these storms as they're kind of moving through the area. Again, I think this is going to wrap up pretty quickly. Looks like still an active severe thunderstorm warning for Greene County. That will probably go until 3:45. But really the worst of the storm potential, at least damaging wind threat, really shifting towards the east. This is not severe areas north up through Granger and Hamlin County, but still some very heavy rainfall, and I think that potential will continue for another hour or so. But I think as we approach the 3:30 time frame here, really the worst part of these storms will be pushing out of our area, and then as Bo mentioned, it's kind of more of the cleanup after that. But I'm going to send it over to Margot for a second. I'm going to get with the Weather Service and see if they have an update on whether or not not the watches, this tornado watches that go until 7 o'clock will be dropped a little bit earlier. Margot?
Sounds good, Ken. And I want to reiterate with the damages that we have seen already moving through Knox County, even kind of towards the plateau. Do not, as a citizen, just go towards that debris. You never know if there is a power line down, could shock you. Also, again, we're just seeing kind of trees falling after these vast amounts of rain fall down, weakening kind of the ground right there. Usually trees will fall once the ground is really too soft. So you need to make sure you're being careful and trying to, I know it's kind of cool to get those pictures of the damages, but try to stay as safe as possible and kind of avoid those areas until law enforcement kind of cleans everything up. Now, the stronger systems that we have right now, again, still in the Greene and Cott County areas. If you're located near the Hayesville area, even the Cedar Creek area, Houston Valley, DeBusk and Greenville areas, still seeing that heavy rain kind of moving through those cities, and we will continue to see all of this pushing east. But again, we've already seen significant damage here in Knox County from the storm system moving forward. But again, heavy rain still pouring down kind of in the Greene County area. I'm going to toss to Bo real fast to get an update on damages and outages. Bo.
I'll tell you what, traffic going to be an issue right now, especially East Knoxville along I-40 eastbound. Let me show you what we're talking about. Earlier, we showed you this vehicle. You see that white, looks like a pickup, facing the wrong direction, may have spun, ended up in the grassy median there. KPD on scene, and it is causing quite the backup right now. So we're going to pull up one of those other cameras. There you can see it. That's I-40 East coming towards you right now. All lanes very, very slow. Of course, everyone trying to merge to the left, as you're supposed to do, to give KPD and the individual in that truck a little bit of extra room there. But again, it's causing quite a bit of a delay, so keep that in mind, I-40 eastbound. We've also been watching, of course, we've had debris in the roadways from Roane County to Knox County and all points in between and really all around the area. One of those spots was I-40 westbound, not far from Western Avenue, looking down from that Western Avenue overpass, and it's still causing some backups right now on 40 West. Crews are right now working that still. You can see TDOT on scene, tree just off to the right, blocking that right lane, and as you can imagine, people coming through town on I-40 westbound, say near 275 Western Avenue, everyone has to merge to get over to the left, and that is going to cause some backups for you as well, so you might want to think about 640. That could save you a little bit of time until they get this out of the way, but you can see, they saw that red there just a moment ago, quite the backup right now on 40 westbound. So you've got 40 east heading out of town, heading towards Straw Plains, and then 40 westbound near 275 in Western. Here's another view of that for you right now as crews are working, and you can see they've actually got a couple of lanes blocked. So that's traffic coming off 275, going to have to merge a little bit further to the left, if you will. The ramp will be shortened, that is for sure, trying to merge over to the left there to get around that current scene. And we also have a look for you right now. This is along Alcoa Highway through the TDOT SmartWay cameras right now. Looks like that's southbound, not far from the U.S. Marine Center, just past UT Hospital. Traffic right now, very much so snarled. Just one lane, that left lane, getting by right now. Officers obviously on scene right now, but you can see a section of that tree just off to the right that is causing some issues. But again, this is southbound Alcoa Highway, near UT Medical as you're heading south toward the U.S. Marine Center. So several spots right now we're seeing those delays, and those are just a handful. We've had reports from all across the area, and we've been getting pictures in as we've been showing you of power lines down, obviously of trees down in the roadway, and even standing water in some spots of the city. KFD reporting a number of outages and just a number of power lines down and trees that their crews are having to respond to right now, so do take it easy. Let's send it over to Ken Weathers right now over in the Storm Center.
All right, thanks a lot, Bo. Again, most of the wet weather, thankfully, has moved out of Knox County areas to the west. Just checked with the Weather Service. For now, they're still keeping the tornado watch going, but I really think our threat is diminishing pretty rapidly across the area. The only active warnings we have are just moving out of our viewing area, eastern sections of Greene into Cott County as well, but much quieter, as you can see, from Knoxville back towards the west. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead. We're going to end our severe weather coverage for now. We're going to send it to break, and when we come back, we're going to start Living East Tennessee. So thanks for staying with us. We'll keep you updated again for WATE 6 on your side news as we go right through the afternoon at 4, 5, 6, 7 o'clock as well. But again, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we'll end our coverage for now as the greater risk of the severe thunderstorm threat has moved east of our viewing area. Still watch out for some isolated flooding and standing waters, especially where we have the flashing green. That's going to be Jefferson, Southern Hamlin County, and over into Cott and Greene counties. But again, we'll send it to break. We'll come back with Living East Tennessee. followed by WATE 6 on your side, news at 4. Thank you.